Sure, and those are obviously two very discrete activities. You know, on the recruiting side, we touched on that a little bit around the hiring authority, but we're finding, and again, I mentioned in our remarks on stage that we're getting supervisors. You know, it's often in the recruiting effort was left to the human capital folks and the recruiting officials. We are now getting the workforce engaged because I think they're the best salespeople in terms of explaining the mission and finding the people that we need to bring in. And so the recruiting efforts are getting a lot more traction. They're getting a lot more involvement from across the enterprise, not just this narrow niche of folks that had previously done it. And then I think the harder one is really retention, right? I mean, it's one thing to assess an individual, onboard them, and bring them in. It's another thing to kind of live up to the expectations that you sold them on. And so we really want to make sure that we're providing the right challenging opportunities, right? I mean, at the end of every day, the supervisor-employee compact is built around how do you connect their work to a higher mission, how do you allow them to leverage their strengths, and then how do you show reward for those efforts within the workforce. So if you're able to do those three things, I think retention comes pretty automatically. The only other thing I would say on that is the promotion opportunities, right? One of our employees was at the GS14 level, and we were talking about there, and he goes, I've been there 10 years. I do not know, and I know myself as an example, anyone that thinks it's optimal to be in grade in a certain job for 10 years, right? So we have to create those promotion opportunities. We have to create those pathways. You know, we talked about reskilling. A lot of opportunities out there, and we want to give people a chance to vote and follow the demand in terms of the workforce that we have out there.